Losing a client is not what breaks service businesses. I mean, we all lose clients. What really does is the time it takes to actually replace that client once you lose them. So the question to ask yourself is, if you lost your largest referral client today, how long would it actually take for you to replace that client? 2 weeks, 4 weeks, maybe 4 months? That replacement time is your lag risk. It's the gap between when you lose a referral client and when you're actually able to recover revenue by replacing them with a new client. So the longer the lag is, the higher the risk, because then it forces you to make bad decisions. In this video, we're going to calculate your lag risk. When referrals dip, many service business owners scramble because replacing them isn't immediate. And that slowdown is what then turns to stress, discounting, and panic marketing. So the perfect story to illustrate this is, I had a client that was actually bidding for a particular project. Now, someone who they know very well actually sat on the board, which would be the committee to decide who actually got that particular project. They were really depending on that particular project to bring in new revenue for the business. So when they found out that they actually lost that particular bid, it placed them in a position that forced them to discount in order to get cash flow coming in by signing on new clients. However, the better approach would have been if they built an engine that allows them to consistently fill their pipeline rather than waiting and hoping for a recommendation to come through from someone else. So in that particular scenario, they didn't really control how long it would actually take them to replace that particular project. So now that we understand the gravity of lag risk, let's actually do a particular exercise to help you score that particular risk. So for this particular exercise, we want to measure on average how long does it take you to replace a referral client once you've actually lost them. So if it's less than 15 days, give yourself a 0, means you're doing great. If it's between 15 days to 30 days, then give yourself a 1. That's very good. If it's between 1 to 2 months, then you can give yourself a 2, because that's really the average for most service businesses, right? It takes us about 1 to 2 months from the time you actually engage with a potential client to the time you actually close them. If it's over 2 months, just up to about 3 months, then give yourself a 3, and you may want to look into that because that score is pretty concerning. If it's over 3 months, up to 4 months, then give yourself a 4, and that means you're at serious risk. Now, if it's over 4 months, give yourself a 5, and it means that you need to install a non-referral pipeline ASAP because your business is critical right about now. You want to ensure that you use the sales cycle length based on the reality of your business and not based on optimism, because we really want to get the true reflection of how at risk you really are. So you're looking at it from the time when you lose the client to the time when you get a new client to the time when that revenue is actually realized in your business. So for that particular client, it would typically take them about 3 to 4 months to replace a client that they lost. But once they started creating content to show their expertise and their authority, that time was reduced in half, where now it actually takes them 1 to 2 months to replace a client. And that same content engine continues to keep their pipeline filled even to this day. But even if you replace clients and revenue quickly, you're still exposed and at risk if you don't have 1 to 2 non-referral channels that can actually generate qualified leads and pipeline for your business. Which is why in the next video, we're exploring the single point of failure risk. So you can click here to watch that video, and I'll see you in the next video.